read the story and picked up on an important detail I'd missed the first time. The clocks weren't mounted on a wall in the way we think of today. Instead, they were mounted on the same wooden beam that made up part of the wall. And given the construction methods of the 1600s, there's a good chance that board had a little wiggle to it. And that wiggle is a very important detail. Here's what I mean. If I swing this sledgehammer pendulum below me while standing on firm ground, then it's just the sledgehammer pendulum that you see moving. But if I stand on a skateboard where I don't have firm footing, now you can see the pendulum is in fact pushing back and moving me too. Now here's the wild part. Because the clock is securely attached to the beam, that beam acts just a tiny bit like the skateboard. So those swinging pendulums are ever so slightly actually moving the wall. So that means as the clocks are just slightly pushing back and nudging the beam, they start to influence and nudge each other too. So if there's a clock that's greatly out of sync with the others, over time those little nudges get it to line up. So after discovering all this, we took those 4 clocks and this time attached them all to a beam, which was attached to the wall with a little bit of wiggle built in. And this time after 4 days, nothing happened, which once again was a clue, not a failure. Because it turns out for this to actually work with pendulum clocks, you need a very precise ratio of clock to pendulum mass, like this setup here. So while I couldn't get my hands on the perfect pendulum clock, here's another way to observe the same phenomenon with 140 pendulums all sitting on a board that can freely wiggle back and forth. All right, let's give it a shot. Little help here.